Welcome, Chessies all over the world. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is so exciting to be here today celebrating yet another virtual live event in honor of the 6th and final season of Chesapeake Shores, premiering this Sunday, August 14th at 8/7 Central, of course, on Hallmark Channel. I'm Deidre Behar from Entertainment Tonight. Always a privilege to be here with you. But today I am feeling extra great to be joined by some of my favorite O'Briens and definitely my favorite billionaire. So please help me say hello to Treat Williams, Barbara Niven, Andrew Francis, and Robert Buckley. Hello, you guys. How are you?
Hi.
Hey, Deirdre.
Hi, Jesse.
Hello.
It is so good to see you guys. We are so excited about this Sunday's season 6 premiere of Chesapeake Shores. Let's get right into it. Well, actually, first things first, Rob, I noticed a little bit of a hair change in you. Can you tell us what inspired this new revitalized hair color?
Did you pick up on the subtle arch I've added to my eyebrows, or are you referring to this issue? Yeah, I've never dyed my hair, and I've always wanted to. So I thought, when Chesapeake wrapped, I was like, I'm going to dye my hair. And let me tell you what, it was a roller coaster ride. It did not go exactly as I had thought it would.
Oh, no. What happened?
I think I was going to a gentleman who didn't quite maybe know what he was doing, or maybe he got away from him. But suffice to say, I came home with white-ish hair, chemical burns all over my scalp. And after some healing, I had to go back in for round 2 to have them sort of even it out.
You didn't go back to the same guy, did you?
No, I went back to his boss.
Okay, 2 questions real quick, Rob. Are you doing okay? Is your head okay?
I'm being brave. My head is okay, you know. And listen, fashion isn't supposed to be comfortable, is it, Deirdre?
No, welcome to our world.
Yes, and Rob,
Yes.
second final question: do blondes have more fun?
100%. Yeah.
Okay. Love it. Love it. Love it. I hope you can bring that fun energy into this interview we're about to do. You know, I think season 5 of Chesapeake Shores was really about new beginnings. So if season 5 was about new beginnings, Barbara, let's start with you. How do you describe season 6?
Season 6 is, I guess, the next chapter because it's just an emotional roller coaster. For all of us. I think it's the best season that we've had yet. The writing is incredible, and every single person got more in depth into their storyline and their relationship with the characters. Treat is amazing in this. He got such a wonderful storyline. I hope it's Emmy if people watch. I think because all during the filming, Treat just kept saying, "This is the best stuff I've been able to do in 20 years." And I think for me too, it's the richest, the deepest, and it just makes me emotional thinking back on it. What a wonderful, wonderful run this has been. And thanks, Jesse's, for letting us do this and letting us live out these characters. Because if you didn't watch, we couldn't do what we do. And we hope that we make you really proud this year.
Barbara, I'm sending you a virtual hug. That is so sweet. Treat, how do you react to that?
Oh, Barbara and I, this is our 6th year, and they allowed us to kind of come to a wonderfully intimate place for Mick and Megan. And I thought we were really wonderful acting partners this year. We had some great stuff, and
great stuff.
That storyline is really, really wonderful. Those guys have such a great combination of romance and humor, and very deep emotional stuff. They know how to combine it all, so it's very natural. And I'm very grateful for Barbara being there. We really had a lot of fun too. We found some comedy that wasn't there. And
do you remember the pie scene? The pie scene.
Very well.
Jesse's, wait till you see the pie scene.
Gosh.
We got such great stuff. We got to be like so angry at each other, and then all of a sudden it's just like real life. You're angry, and then you're laughing, and then it's romance. You know, that's all in there this season.
Great fun.
You're so great to work with.
Did you guys get to throw pie at each other? Did you get a pie fighting scene?
No, we were busy after talking about the pie doing something else, but I didn't want to go into too much detail about that.
For sure. Okay, before I get into like specific storylines, Rob and Andrew, how do you describe season 6? What's the tone, the feeling, the overall vibe?
Well, after, the cliffhanger in season 5 of my heart attack and whether or not, no, that was Andrew. That was Andrew. I'm so sorry. I get us mixed up all the time.
You had your own cliffhanger, Rob. We'll get into that.
Yes, I had my own cliffhanger. I don't have a real answer for you because I was so excited to talk about Andrew. Andrew, take it away.
Well, we did leave on quite a cliffhanger last season. Mr. Buckley's character, Evan, had my older sister, Abby, had a decision to make between Evan and Jay. So that was one of the cliffhangers. And of course, I hit the deck. I had that kiss that apparently, blew my heart up when we hit the ground. So yeah, it was quite, it was really, and that was such a great day of filming. We had a big crane shot, and after we did that shot, everyone got around the monitors and watched it, and it was such good work by all the different components that make a film crew, from the rigging and the people's lifting and the camera work, and just worked out great. So that was a really fun day, and quite the cliffhanger.
Okay.
Yeah, and this
we all
season,
thought you really got hurt.
This season, once we get past Connor's funeral, the show really takes off in the comedy.
I agree.
Well, when Mark Legan called me up and said, "Hey, all right, so we want to bring you in for the fittings for the casket. How's Tuesday, Wednesday?"
You guys, we're already sad that the show is coming to an end at the end of season 6. Please don't hit me with traumatic news like that. I'm gonna pivot. I want to talk first about something a little lighter. Rob, I'm gonna go to you because that was a huge cliffhanger at the end of season 5. Of course, Abby makes a phone call. Don't know if it was to Evan or if it was to Jay. So where do we pick up in season 6? Are we gonna find out the answer to that question in the season 6 premiere?
Wouldn't it be great though if season 6 opened and you found out the person she was calling was her personal trainer? She was just like, "I want to see you. I want to get summer ready," and like that was the part we didn't hear. Listen, I'll give you a spoiler. It wasn't her personal trainer. Okay,
Wow.
It was between Evan and Jay, and without giving too much away, I think she made a pretty good choice. I'm also a big fan of Jay though, so I'm not tipping my hat too much, but I think she, in my opinion, made a good choice.
Plus,
Totally.
we all know more of Mandrake. Hello.
Mandrake, he's helpful. The guy's helpful. Maybe Abby needed some assistance from Mandrake. I know you obviously can't reveal who, but will we get that payoff in the season 6 premiere? Will we find out?
Yes, we will. Because here's the thing: even if she did choose Jay, Evan has such a love of the O'Briens that he would probably just hang out. He would make it awkward by hanging out with her family.
Yes.
Yeah, he'd third wheel it.
Just in a second.
Can't blame him. The O'Briens are a great group. And, I think regardless of whether Abby and Evan, progress romantically or just kind of stay colleagues or friends, I just love the dynamic between them. It's the perfect mashing of like, we like each other, but we also kind of give each other the gears. What can you tell me about how we're going to see the Abby and Evan dynamic evolve in season 6? Do you think it's going more romantic or is it a little more on the professional side?
Listen, it's going to evolve sort of in all the ways. I think what you liked about it is what I loved about it most was that playful banter, that kind of Sam and Diane back and forth. And I think the writers, everyone realized that played well. So they really pick that up where they left off and they go farther with it. But then additionally, we do see the relationship evolve. And listen, whether or not you call Jade or Evan, the relationship does evolve romantically, because sometimes romances are one-sided. So, I'm not going to say how it's going to go, but there's definitely romance. There's definitely conflict and awkwardness. And there's definitely a lot of banter to go along with all of it.
Okay. I love hearing that. And I know that you can't say too much about, Abby and Evan, but I know you can speak on behalf of Evan. He brought so much delicious, lovable chaos in season 5. And now that we're super familiar with Evan, what can you tell me about his journey in season 6? Is he still going to be that goofball, or are we going to see new sides to him?
Yes, I think you will still see that same goofball because that is who he is, right? But then because of the relationship he has with Abby and with the O'Briens, we also kind of go beneath that. We go beneath the surface and we actually really get down to the nuts and bolts of who this guy is, and which is cool because, you know, along the way, it's also sort of Evan is discovering himself. So it's the audience is sort of on a ride that Evan is on himself as well, because he's in the situation he's never been in before. And he's being asked questions he's never looked at before. And he wants to grow in a way he never has before. So there is a lot of dimension and depth to Evan that we see this season.
Can I say just quickly and seriously that day before yesterday, or even yesterday, I'm not sure, I did ADR, post-production voice work, and there was a lot of stuff, I think it was the Firehouse, of Evan watching the O'Brien family. And Rob, you were just so lovely. You could see how you were seeing what you had not had in your life. And you could see how meaningful it is for Evan to have this feeling of being a part of this, you know, this very intimate group of people and joining them. It's a lovely, the look on your face was really gorgeous. And I was going to call you and say, hey, that was really good work yesterday. So bravo.
Well, I appreciate you saving the compliment for this moment when a lot of people will hear the compliment, because that is my favorite compliment is a public compliment, Treat. And you know that about me, so thank you.
That's so sweet. I love it, Treat. That was very kind. And Rob, before I pester you with more questions, my final one will be this. Not as Evan, as Rob, an objective fan of Chesapeake Shores, do you like the idea of Evan and Abby as Endgame?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think it makes sense?
Absolutely. I feel like even if I can remove myself as best as I can from the situation and try to be objective, right? I love who I got to watch Abby become in season 5. I love the dynamic, you know, and part of what is so special about when you find like the right person is like, it's sort of who they help you become, how they help you grow, and just who we saw Abby be in season 5, I really liked. So yeah, even if I wasn't playing Evan, I would say like, I want more of that.
These two make sense. Yeah, for
These
sure.
two make sense. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
I love that. Treat, I'm going to pivot to you now. I want to know, where are we going to find Mick in season 6, kind of with the aftermath of his plane crash?
Well, I think we have to, the fact of the matter is that the pain is great for him, greater than he thought it would be. And we all know what happens when you're not told how addictive these painkillers can be. And I think the main thing is that it's a study which happens all over the country. So I took it very seriously and personally, that people who are like Mick, who's a couple of beers on the weekend kind of a guy, after 4 or 5 days finds himself completely addicted to a drug. And it's not in his purview. It's not in his understanding of who he is. And so he has to find some way back from this thing that's happened to him. And I think that's pretty much Mick's journey is to try and understand a guy with extraordinary self-control. His entire life has now found himself sort of manacled, by this drug. And I think it's a battle that a lot of people who are not addictive, because of things that have happened, broken arms or, pain that they've had, back pain or whatever, and find themselves, addicted. So I think that's basically what we're going to deal with, is Mick's having to deal with a side of himself that he didn't think existed,
Yeah. Gosh.
It's a beautiful journey that they wrote. It's very watchable, and understandable, and quite humane the way they handled it. So I'm very grateful to the two authors.
And kudos to
so
Treat.
Well.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is it's an important story to tell. And I think you played it with a lot of sincerity and compassion and humanity, which grounded it. And I think will help people to really relate to it. And to see the person.
It's something we all have to. I know this is Hallmark, but it's in my family. Very close family member passed away as a result of abuse. So it's not something that I think everybody knows or is related to somebody who has gotten, it's gotten a hold of them and they can't get away from it. So I think it's something it resolves itself quite beautifully, but I think it's a very, very lovely journey that they gave me.
Well,
I'm grateful.
Treat, my hat is off to you for, I think Rob just said it so beautifully. I mean, you bring so much like depth and nuance to everything that you do, and to shine a spotlight on something that's not so fun and not so pretty, I think will be relatable, sadly, to a lot of people around the world. But a huge reason why we tune into Chesapeake Shores is because you guys tackle the light with the dark. And so it sounds like that's going to be the darker side of your journey. If we maybe flip to the lighter side, you know that the fans are always rooting for a Mick and a Megan reconciliation.
Well, I will say that I had basically 3 wonderful storylines to deal with, and the other 2, one of them is they still allowed me to be there for my children, even in the midst of my issues. They could come to me, and I could still be a good listener. I could, in fact, sometimes I think the drug makes you a better listener than, unfortunately, because you're calm, But I also think that the Barbara and I have such a gorgeous, beautiful journey in the show that really balances the other stuff that I was given to do. It's very 3-dimensional.
Okay, so Barbara, I want to go to you. I know that we left off season 5 with Megan being offered this wonderful opportunity at the Getty, but that would obviously mean her removing herself from, where her family is. So what can you tell me about that opportunity? Is she going to take advantage of it, or does she need to be there for, for Mick and for Andrew's character?
Wow, a lot of choices, huh? I remember when I saw the script and I got the opportunity, and it was absolutely blanket no, because I want to stay with my family now. But do you remember the scene where Mick says, "Well, I don't want you to give up your dream," and so it just caught her again, because life is such a balance, isn't it? So you have to maybe give up one thing to do another, even though you try to do it all, you just can't do everything. And so I think a lot of people will relate, because what do you do in that? And then. But family, I think that's what the show is about. That's what Megan's journey has been about. I think all of us. Family really is the most important thing. So I think Megan tries to balance it. And in the end, I think she makes absolutely the right decision, because, as I say, family is everything. And you just can't do it all. But
for sure.
At the end of your life, what are you going to think about? I think that saying is that when you look back, it's not about the big things; it's about the little things. So it's about your heart.
I also want to hear about Connor's recovery. Speaking of family,
oh yeah. And Andrew, you're next. You're definitely next on my list. My final question, though, for Barbara and Treat, for fans who are always rooting for a Mick and a Megan romantic moment, what can you tease about how their relationship will evolve in season 6?
Can I just say that Treat Williams is a dang good kisser?
I can second that.
Boys, let's leave that back at the
we were all there
at the gate.
It all counts as one.
We don't know how it ends. I could have kissed him and then slapped him. You never know.
Treat, would you like to return the compliment to Barbara?
Oh, yes. Well, yeah. I mean, there was no work involved. Let me put it that way. It was always very easy.
We had so much fun. And then at the end of our really great scene days, Treat, remember how we'd meet downstairs and we would just celebrate, and with our favorite wine overlooking the ocean. And man, that was a great day. And it's just been a great season.
Okay.
Sometimes we'd invite the kissing coach, who tells you exactly how to kiss and how not to kiss and when to kiss.
You need that kind of guidance, I'm sure. Yes. Okay, so Barbara, there is a kiss or kisses between Mick and Megan in season 6.
Well, if you have to, I think you always need to try everything at least twice to make sure their first reaction is
for sure. Make sure you really understand what you're doing.
Good answer. Good answer.
Andrew, I'm going to pivot over to you. Of course, we kind of talked about it briefly, but Connor going through quite a health scare at the end of season 5. We're all rooting for him. We don't want to see him in pain, but inevitably, I assume he's about to go on a journey. What can you tell me?
So we find Connor in pretty rough shape. He's at the hospital. We don't necessarily know how he got there. We left last season, with that big, beautiful crane shot with everybody sort of surrounding his yeah, his health. And so we find him in the hospital, and I think the first two people that he sees are mom and dad, and he's filled with a lot of emotions. You know, there's a little bit of shame and guilt from what he's done to himself and what he's put people through, but really the overriding feeling is just a sense of joy of being alive. You know, like I think he really realized what he had done to himself and how he pushed himself too far, didn't listen to his body. And yeah, just to see his mom and dad walk in and get to see them again after, you know, literally thinking that that was the end for him on that gravel, you know, pathway right in front of the O'Brien house. So yeah, a lot of joy to see his family, but at the same time, a lot of thinking needs to be done, and a lot of healing needs to be done as well.
So I am
Andrew, let us not forget Margaret.
Well, that was literally my next question. Barbara, you're
Oh, Barbara.
As a part-time journalist, Barbara, you have great follow-up questions. You literally could do this. You guys don't need.
I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry. No, I'm just nosy.
No, 100%. You know, I was just going to say, Andrew, I assume this is the O'Briens we're talking about. So I know in Connor's recovery, we're going to get all those wonderful moments where family, you know, comes together to be there, to be that support system. But I am wondering, I know that Connor's very passionate about his career, and I know he's got a new romance with Margaret on the horizon. So how are these health challenges going to affect his job and this potential new relationship?
Definitely going that, like, both of those things are going to affect him deeply. You know, when it starts off, he just started, you know, seeing Margaret and getting close to Margaret after she came to the office in season 5. And, you know, she didn't sign up for this. You know, like when you start dating somebody and automatically they're hitting the ground with a heart attack, staying up all night, and she's in the hospital visiting him. So I think he has a lot of fear as to whether or not he's going to actually be able to keep this relationship. And that being said, you know, he's kind of a one-man show. You know, Margaret obviously has his back, and I think is as smart, if not smarter, than Connor. So she's fully capable. But at the same time, yeah, things are going to be, you know, getting a lot slower, and he's just got to work on his health. So his business is kind of in flux at the moment. He's not really sure what to do or what he can do.
Well, I think influx is a great way of kind of labeling a lot of these relationships and dynamics amongst everybody on the show as we go into season 6. Because some of your co-stars, castmates are not here with us today, I'm hoping I can throw out a few storylines and you guys can give me your best takes or teases about what's to come. So
just before you do that, Deirdre, can I also say that Mariessa, I like to call her because they're Italian name, Mariessa, but Marisa Krause did an absolutely just a brilliant job. Yeah. She was such an unbelievable energy to come to our set. I just speaking for myself, I thought she was such a generous spirit in acting, and just she made everyone brighter and made everyone shine. So I just want to
give a
shout out.
Barbara and I will attest to the fact that she's really fun to eat donuts with on a day off.
And to go hiking with. Yeah, so we hiked to get some calories burned off, and then we went to the donut shop, and literally we bought one of everything. It just
good.
That's how you do it.
Perfect.
Good, because life is about balance. You eat
and
the
we
donut,
ate them all.
Yeah. Yes.
We ate every donut.
I love that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say I think I am being called for dad duty. So
okay.
I need a boogie.
Give a hug to your little one, and do you have a message before you go? A message to the Chessies about how you hope they feel as we're about to embark on this season 6 journey?
My message would be: you will not be disappointed. This is a really strong season. Great stories, and everyone killed it. Everyone showed up. Going into it knowing it was going to be our last, I think everyone really brought it in a way that they sort of left it all on the table. And what I've seen so far looks great, and you know how it felt when we were making it was special. So I think you're in for a great ride.
Do you want to describe season 6 of Chesapeake Shores in 3 adjectives before we say goodbye?
Oh my God.
Special, unparalleled, and then more a sound than a word. More a sound than a word.
That's you, Robert. Now talk about the show.
Unparalleled. Special. Yeah.
I can't wait to see what happens with Evan. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, it's great to see you all.
Bye, Rob.
Bye.
Good to see you, Rob.
I won't keep you guys too long. I wanted to ask you about a few storylines before I let you go. Of course, Kevin. I want to know, how are things going to pick up between Kevin and Sarah moving into season 6? We know that they're trying to expand their family. Where are their minds at? Where are their hearts at when season 6 starts again?
Go ahead, Treat.
Oh boy, I think that the first part of the season is some healing because of the loss in season 5, and I think that I really would love to let them just, when they come back on, describe it. But I think that some marriages actually don't survive those things, and I think that it's really all about their sort of getting back on their feet again and rediscovering their marriage in a way that they now have this shared experience that none of us really want to have, but they've been through it, and so many couples have. And that they have to find a way to move on and move forward, and I will say that they do that, and they do it wonderfully.
Okay, Barbara, I want to ask you about Jess. We know that she and her husband are going through a not so fun time. They're weathering the storm as David's father is facing these horrible allegations that are playing out quite publicly. What can you tell me about Jess and David's journey in season 6?
I think what's been really wonderful about Jess, played by Lacey Mailey, who is brilliant at this. I don't know how, she's just perfect for this character. But we've always seen her kind of be the one who doesn't have the grounding or the strength and the flittery gibbet. Yes. And I think we watch her become really strong in this. She becomes a good businesswoman. And I think in a marriage, you have to balance that out. David has always been there for her, kind of been the grounding force. And I think their journey is what a real marriage is, because one can't always carry the other. It's got to work out. It's got to be balanced. And I think viewers are going to love the relationship as it evolves here. And they are there for each other.
That's so touching to hear. And Andrew, I'm going to direct the final question at you about your on-screen sister, Bree. We got to see her and Luke kind of cozy up to each other in season 5. Is that still a romance that is bubbling up in season 6?
Yeah, I don't know exactly how much we can say, so I'll pick my words wisely, choose my words wisely. But yeah, no, there's a lot of love between the two of them. They see something in the other one, I think, that is very attractive to them, but at the same time, they are somewhat on opposite sides of the spectrum, and maybe that's the thing that is the attraction. Yeah. So I think there's going to be some hiccups. There's going to be maybe some misunderstandings, or just things that get in the way because they're sort of from different, places, I guess you could say, maybe geographically kind of, in neighborhoods, and just places sort of mentally and what they've gone through in their life. But they'll definitely be exploring that option. I think my older sis, Bree, played beautifully by Amelia. She brings a lot of nuance to her sort of, feeling this new guy out, and it was a real treat watching Amelia, who is an absolutely brilliant actress. It was just great watching her bring those emotions to life and just be able to know exactly what she was doing by doing so little.
Dad, Treat, what do you say? Does your daughter get the stamp of approval with Luke, or are mom and dad?
100%. I have to tell you that young man was so helpful to me. He really was the motor for me to be brave enough to face my problem and find sobriety. And Stephen did a wonderful job being the first person I talked to about the fact that I may well have a problem, because with the family, I'm completely in denial, and I blame them. I don't want to hear it. But the first scene where there's the beginnings of a crack is when I go to him, and we have a beautiful scene at the club, and he was wonderful. He was a beautiful listener, and he did a great job. So I think mixed feelings for him are, in fact, less as a potential son-in-law, and during the season more of a kind of a mentor in how to maneuver or navigate this problem that Mick has gotten.
Treat, you used the phrase son-in-law. Are things moving very seriously?
I did not. I said potential son.
Potential son-in-law. Okay.
I was careful.
You're careful.
I was careful.
Okay.
And if I could just jump in and just say one thing, just to piggyback a little bit off what Treat said, is that like a lot of people talked about the scenes that Steven and Treat did together, and it was almost like a school in acting watching Treat sort of bring what he was dealing with in this season to life and the different stages in it, you know, because it was almost one of those things that reminds me of the story of Pacino, and actually I think Treat and I have talked about the story in the past, I believe, where, you know, he was doing so little that everyone was so scared that he's like, well, what's he doing? He's not doing anything. And it was one of those moments where, as the season progressed, and I got to see sort of the evolution of what Treat's character Mick was dealing with. It was just very, very enlightening to watch him change so little, but it be so profound and have such a storyline. So I thought he did, yeah,
let
just
me tell you how good I got at doing nothing. In a movie called Once Upon a Time in America, in Rome, I had a scene with Bob De Niro and Jimmy Woods. Oh. I've been shot and we're in a hospital. And we were waiting a long time to get the lights and everything. Tonino was really a perfectionist, and Sergio Leone was there. And I'm lying in the bed waiting, and all of a sudden I feel someone shaking my shoulder. And I look up, it's Bob De Niro, and I go, what? He goes, it's your line. We're rolling. We're shooting. You want to say your line? I'm like, what do you mean? He said you were asleep, man. You just want to sleep during the scene. So if you can fall asleep with Bob De Niro, that's about doing nothing as you can possibly do. I've got that on my resume.
I bet they got gold when you were out too.
I never heard the last of it. Let me tell you that. I've still never heard the last of it.
Oh, it's not what you do. It's not how much. It's how you do it, and it's how you make us feel. And that's why you're all sensational actors, truly. I want to wrap up because I know we've kind of gone through everything, but I do want to ask you all one final question. As we go through season 6, we're about to embark on this journey. What is the one thing or moment that you're most excited to gift to the Chessies? Barbara, let's start with you.
It's so hard to pick one. It's very hard to say goodbye, but I'm so grateful it happened, and we've made such great fans, and we've come to know the Chessies. They feel like family, and I think they are honorary O'Briens forever, ever. Yeah. So if we're lucky, maybe we can come back and do some movies. Watch, you guys, get our ratings up so maybe we can do some movies too. But we love you so much.
Oh, that's so sweet. I know that it's too hard to pick, but for everybody who's like burning, so excited to tune in on Sunday, is there something that you can tease throughout season 6? I know, choose your words carefully, but would it be a romantic moment, in a deeply emotional moment?
Absolutely romantic moments. The ups and downs. It was a gift to be able to do romantic comedy at our age. Treat and I just kept saying that. Fief Sutton, who was our showrunner, is brilliant. He won an Emmy for Cheers and Boston Legal, so you know the writing's good. And he and his writing partner Mark Jordan Legan they are the quintessential film experts, and they put all of that in. So I've never had a more fun acting job ever than this season, and the ups and downs and everything I went into acting for, it's all there, and I can't wait to share it with everybody. It's all there.
I'd like to bookend on that. I think it's very hard to describe one moment because, as Barbara says, it has so many turns and ups and downs. But I think the thing is that the operative word for me for the entire season was joy. It was joyous. And what was joyous was not only the dramatic stuff and the emotional stuff, but the comedy stuff and the family stuff. It was joyous to do the kind of acting that I was trained to do and haven't been, like I said, Barbara said, I haven't been given stuff that deep and that fun and that three-dimensional in 20 years. Not since Prince of the City or Hair or, name that, not since Everwood. And it's just so wonderful that it was just really, I can't remember not being really excited about, I can't wait to go to work today and put this stuff on film. So it was joyous no matter how, how emotional it was or how, if we went in, we were weeping profusely, it didn't matter because we were doing really good stuff. So that's my kind of feeling about it.
Okay, so Barbara and Treat, joy and emotional moments. Andrew, let's end with you. Is there something that you're just so excited for the Chessies to watch this season?
Yeah, a whole bunch of things. I think that Barbara and Treat nailed a lot of those on the head. But I'm really excited for the Chessies to see a lot of the, after 5 seasons of our characters developing. And now the audience knows our characters so well, and there's some great plot points in this season that really are going to hit home to the people who've been watching from the start, because they've seen that evolution, so I'm really excited for them to see that. And I think that both Treat and Barbara knocked it out of the park, and I think that they're really, really, really going to just watch sort of a display on acting. At least I can't wait to watch Treat sort of bring
Andrew,
his storyline.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
No, to watch Treat's storyline unfold. Yeah.
I was just going to say, Andrew, I know that you were in the box the whole time, but that funeral scene for Connor was so deeply moving. Everyone was so good.
I couldn't see it, but I heard it was good.
We needed you in the box to really feel it, and so thank you.
Did you have to have me like through lunch, and like you made me sleep there? I didn't really get the whole method.
We didn't want to lose the mojo through lunch, so we had to keep you in the box for the afternoon shift.
You guys get
okay.
Yeah. Jesse's Treat is kidding. Andrew, please confirm that Connor is going to be okay.
This is why we'll miss each other. It's time to make peace.
I'm gonna miss you guys so much.
Oh God.
All right, season 6 is just starting. You know that the Chessies are going to be there every Sunday on Twitter. I'm sure you guys have a cast group chat. Are you guys still talking and planning?
Yeah,
we have multiple, depending on who's in trouble.
We don't. None of us speak.
And then we will tweet chat with everybody live too. So please, you guys, use the hashtag and watch with us and tweet with us live. Tweet every show.
Yeah. I want to remind everybody, you must tune in for the 6th and final season premiere of Chesapeake Shores this Sunday, August 14th, 8/7 Central on Hallmark Channel. I figure we can end this by me giving the 3 of you the floor if you'd like to talk directly to the Chessies and maybe just say what's on your heart and give a little message of gratitude, because I know you guys just love the fans so much.
I'll just start saying mine. I've been doing television now, for, believe it or not, for close to 45 years, and this really is the best stuff, top of the line, some of the best stuff I've ever been in. It's not just about what I got to do. It's a really extraordinary show now. It has evolved into something very, very special and very, very good. It's the top of the line television, and I say to people who are a little on the fence about it, give us a try for a couple of shows. I think you're going to love this season. I'm really, really proud of it.
Okay, Barbara, what would you like to say to the Chessies?
It's just really hard to say goodbye, I guess. And this is going to be the best season ever, and it's our gift of love to you. So thank you so much for watching and being part of our family. And we will go on. So we'll see you Sunday.
Andrew, any final words? Beautiful.
I want to echo both what Treat and Barbara said. We're super just appreciative for taking this ride with us. My life has dramatically changed. This is the first series that I was ever on, and I was blessed to be working with, great actors like Barbara Niven and, the great Treat Williams. And I've seen every movie now, and I aspire to be a bad, I don't even know what I'm allowed to say. A good actor playing a bad guy. Yeah. But I want to just say thank you most of all. This has been, like I said, a life-changing experience. I got this role when I was in my 20s. I'm coming up on my 40s now. I've learned so much from the absolutely brilliant actors around me. I've even thought after the show's finished now of just like, wow, I was so lucky to be surrounded by such insane talent. And not a lot of people get that opportunity to get to be on a show for as long as this Chesapeake has done, tell as many beautiful stories, and get surrounded by actors who are just top of the line and can teach you things. So for the Chessies, I'm so grateful for spending your Sundays when we're on with us and tweeting with us. And I just want to thank you for your wonderful interviews, my cast for supporting me and teaching me more than you know. And to all you Chessies, I hope you enjoy this last season of Chesapeake Shores, season 6.
That was beautiful, Andrew. And we feel the same about you, by the way. You brought so much, and you taught us all so much. And the meditation.
Yeah, what not to do, but see, yeah, but the same.
Yeah.
You guys,
I appreciate that, Barbara.
You guys are such a special group of people. Again, Chessies, Sunday, August 14th, 8/7 Central Hallmark Channel. I implore you to watch because I know it's going to be the 6th and best final season ever. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye. We love you guys.